Thank you for watching Blackstardove. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. As always, I need that HBO special, which simply means help a brother out. Trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you. This video is about Skip Bayless. Recently, it has been reported that Skip Bayless will be leaving Fox Sports 1, which has been his home for like, what, the past 8 years? Yeah, 8 years, because Shannon left at 7 years, and 1 year later, this is 8 years. And I wanted to give my thoughts on it. I'm very grateful for Skip, man. I pretty much lived by a whole adult life listening to Skip. If you go back to the Cold Pizza days, like that was Skip. Then it was First and 10, that was Skip. Then it was First Take, that was Skip. Then I moved on to Undisputed, that was Skip. So I've been watching Skip for a very, very long time. And we all have. Like, he is the godfather of this shit. Like, he put it on the map. And he is a true journalist. When I was just looking at all the stuff that he's been a part of, you know, I think he was at the Lake Pacific, where U.S. upset Canada. He was at Michael Jordan's. He was in Chicago for Michael Jordan's last year. That was pretty cool. He spent a few years in San Francisco, and he also was in Dallas for the Cowboys. But if you remember, or if you ever seen the ESPN 30 for 30 called Pony Excess, Skip was one of the top writers writing about SMU and the death penalty. Man, this man been around for everywhere. I'm just very grateful. Like, whether I agree with his opinions or not, I'm grateful for everything he's done. Like, the world of like sports by itself has changed because of Skip. Whether people like it or not, that dude is the godfather. He pretty much put all this shit on the map. It was him, and he was debating everyone, and then with him and Stephen A. Smith, when they got together, and then it was two things that happened in the same year that made them catch lightning in a bottle. The first one was LeBron and the Heat losing to the Mavericks. Skip had a field day with that one. And then in that same year, a few months down the line, Tebow Mania was born. So that year of 2011 was the year they really took off. That's when they never looked back. And everyone tried to imitate them. A lot of people have failed. And like I love it for it because, you know, it gave us entertaining TV. You know, I am a Heat fan. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Miami Heat fan. So I had to listen to that stuff. Like, listen to how the Heat lost to the Mavs in 6 games. Remember when D Wade and LeBron was making fun of Dirk when they was coughing and all that stuff? Like, I remember all that shit. Man, and then like that whole summer I was just like depressed because you know, I was living in Cleveland, so everyone was super happy that LeBron lost and all that stuff. And of course, the next year I was able to have my get back because they won. But that, and then Tebow Mania, man, Tebow Mania. If you've never experienced it, I have no words for it. Like, Tebow Mania was literally, what's what I'm looking for? It was like the Beatles on steroids. That and Linsanity. I think Linsanity was a little bit more, but Linsanity lasted far less than Tebow Mania. Like, people had Tebow chants and all that stuff, and all he does is win, and the videos and all that stuff. Man, you just had to be around for Tebow Mania. It was the craziest shit, like, in my sports life ever. Like, you're never gonna get another Tebow Mania. And it was like, you know, I'm not trying to call nobody mediocre because, like, hey, look at me. But it was this mediocre quarterback who at one point in time, at one game, he only threw 2 passes and he won that game. Let's not forget, he threw 2 passes in that game and won that game. Man, and like Skip was gun ho, and then when they beat the Steelers in the playoffs, and he had 316 yards, oh my God! And everyone was thinking John 3:16 and all this stuff. That was the craziest shit. That will never be duplicated. I'm here to tell you right now, that will never be duplicated. That was a lot. That was a lot. But besides the whole Tebow Mania thing, he really, straight out of Stephen A's mouth, he gave Stephen A a shot when he was blackballed. And no one really wanted to mess with him anymore. Skip still wanted to mess with him because they've been friends. So you got to give Skip credit for that. You got to give Skip credit for Chad Ocho Cinco Johnson. A lot of people don't remember this. There was an incident with Chad's first wife where there was some domestic violence involved. Chad was cut from the team, and he was kind of blacklisted. No one wanted to do anything with him. Skip gave him the opportunity to come on national television to tell his side of the story. A lot of people forget that. He wanted to give the same opportunity to Ray Rice, but that one kind of went downhill because I think like Ray Rice just like self-destructed on that shit. That was like some weird shit. He gave people platforms to speak on things, especially when it came to issues like Colin Kaepernick. He wanted everyone to be on board who had a say-so. And then, of course, he ended up leaving ESPN for Fox Sports, right? And when he left, people thought he was crazy. He was like, "Oh, you're leaving Stephen A. You don't know how good you had it." And then people was like, "Oh, he can make another Stephen A." So, under technical circumstances and how it played out, he did make another Stephen A, who just happened to be named Shannon Sharpe, who was already a Hall of Famer Pro Bowler. But he too was kind of blacklisted a little bit, even though he was getting back on television after his incident with a white woman in the elevator where she kind of accused him of sexual assault, and then that was proven to not be true. So that was the incident there. And then like Shannon said it himself, he would have never been on First Take if it wasn't for Skip going to bat for him, because the producers didn't, and the people who was in charge didn't think Shannon can do the job. And Skip had to convince them that Shannon can indeed do it. And then like people forget, like I watched Undisputed since its debut, and I stopped watching recently because it just doesn't appeal to me anymore. But those first couple of years with Shannon were kind of rough. He didn't start becoming Uncle Shay Shay until way later down the line. People seem to forget that. But Skip kept coaching them and getting them through it. And then of course, we all know about their breakup. And put your glasses back on. And I'm not trying to take away from any of that, because what he did was wrong, and he disrespected the Hall of Famer. But at the same time, I can sit there and I can say, as a black man, I am grateful for Skip, because he gave a whole lot of black people opportunities, especially a lot that were considered to be blacklisted. He gave them opportunities to come in and tell their story. He gave them opportunities to come in and try to remake themselves. So I appreciate him for that. But at the same time, I can say, you overstepped your boundaries. And yes, you are the godfather of this shit, but just like anyone else, you could be replaced. And he's not learning that. This is not me bashing him. There's plenty of videos bashing him if you wish to see that. This is me saying from a standpoint of, I understand. And I appreciate you, Skip, for everything that you've done. But just because I appreciate you doesn't mean that you can be as disrespectful as you like to be. And whatever you do next in your journey, I wish you nothing but the best, because you deserve it. I honestly hope you just retire, and you and your wife can just live out the rest of y'all days. You got enough money. Take care. I love you. Peace.